Good afternoon. It's September 28th, 2024. We're critiquing the news. The article on your screen is from the Cairns Post and it's titled City Cafe Hit in Attack. And in it we read about a cafe on Lake Street where the front windows were smashed open. The intruder, a youth, threw a chair around, teenage boy, threw a chair through the window. Once inside, he smashed two more windows, he threw items around the shop and left empty-handed. So the poor cafe proprietor was there until 4 a.m. to get the cafe ready for customers the next day and to continue her business, because obviously she needs an income to run the business, she needs a profit in order to live. But this kid, for no particular reason, just smashed it all up and caused all that problem for her, for that expense for her, potentially could have dramatically inconvenienced the customers who would have had to start their day without their cafe latte and smashed avo. So what does the Cairns MP Michael Healy have to say about that, bearing in mind that this is, squarely in his electorate, which is one of the smallest ones in far north Queensland. It's just that little city area. So apparently it's not the government's fault, nothing to do with the government and the laws that they've put in place that allow these kids to do these things over and over again with no punishment. It's he says I'm enormously frustrated by the spate of juvenile crime and the senseless damage inflicted on our small business operators. Government can only do so much. Where are the parents? Where is the accountability from the parents? Well, I don't know, Michael. I guess it's really a matter of what circumstances did you create that left the parents without the hope, without the prospects for the future, that motivated them to raise their children correctly, to know where their children were at all times. Does this kid even have parents, or are they in jail for other crimes? Or, did he fall through the gaps in the welfare system when his parents moved away or passed on? This is the problem with big welfare states. This is the problem with expecting the government to solve all the problems, because it can't. It can't do anything well. All it can do well is squander our wealth. And that's what we see this government doing, state and federal, over and over again. Every story you can look at, they're squandering our wealth, they're making things worse, and they're not meeting the minimum expectations. They're not implementing our will, in other words. They're very quick to implement the will of United Nations, the World Economic Forum, with unreliable, expensive energy and sending our factories overseas, which means this kid's parents didn't have a job and the financial pressures caused them to break up, and the kid ended up in a foster home or whatever else. It's also the government's job to be keeping the drugs off the street that this kid's parents may have been addicted to, or the alcohol that they may have been addicted to, which is the common story. I saw that all the time during my career as a DSS field officer, going out to people's homes in the 80s and 90s. It was a problem then, but it's worse now. It's worse now because we've had the Labor government in power for so long, and the Liberals aren't necessarily going to be any better, because they're obviously one party pretending to be two these days to give voters the illusion of choice. Now, if we want to fix this stuff, it begins with getting the ALP, LNP uni party out of our parliaments.